Okay, so here's a quick video to show you how you would import and store any sort of ESM files that either you purchased or um, that you were given or what have you. I have ESM files for sale on my website, WeQuiltStudio.com, and you will purchase them as a zip file. So this is just showing you pictures of all the different ESM outlines that I have in one of my zip files that are for sale. There's actually, I think, 16 different outlines in that zip file. So, and you can actually edit them to make them look even a little bit differently in your parameters window. But this just kind of gives you an idea of what they look like. But here's how you would get them into your Embird program. So we'll just start from the beginning. Like, just say you went to my website or anybody else's website and you purchased your ESM file. So I'll just go to my website and WeQuiltStudio.com, and the ESM outlines and motifs show first, and after that are the video tutorials. But for instance, this is the ESM outline that I feature, or the ESM outlines that I feature, because there's 16 of them. So you would actually go and add them to your cart, and you would just click on your cart and it would take you right to PayPal, and you would go ahead and purchase it. And then from PayPal, you just X out of that, you would download the file to your downloads folder. So, let me go into my downloads folder. And this is what the file would look like, backstitch all zip. So you would open it by probably double clicking on it. And then you want to select them all, so you can either click here or do Control A. And you want to click on Extract All. And when you extract them, you want to put them in a folder that is your own personal embroidery folder. You don't want to put them in an Embird program folder, because when you do updates for Embird, you'll lose them. So I'll just browse and I'll put them in WeQuilt Studio, Embroidery Designs. I'll just make a new folder here and I'll just put it, I'll call it ESM. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to put a 0 in front of it so it shows up at the top, 0 space ESM downloads. So then I'll just hit enter, and I'll hit double click on it so it shows. So this is where I'm downloading them, into this ESM downloads folder, which is in my embroidery designs folder. Select folder and then extract. So now that's where all these back stitches, you can see them all here. They're all ESM files, and I have them named. They're all in the folder that I named. It's in the WeQuilt Studios folder. Whoops. When you're on the left, you don't double click, you just click once. WeQuilt Studios, I called it 0. Oh, did I put it in embroidery designs? Yeah, I did. So I put it in WeQuilt Studios, then I put it in the embroidery designs folder, and then here it is, 0 ESM downloads. And that's fine. You know, you could put it wherever you like. So it's done. It's in there. If I double click on that, you can see they're all in there. And then you'll go to Studio, and these are outlines. So you just go ahead and you create whatever you're going to create. You can create font, you can create a design. I clicked, do that again. If I clicked on outline here on the left, tab, shape, I could do a polygon, hold my control to make it perfect, hit enter twice, and there's my shape. But I could also do text, font engine text, click once, I have Arial chosen. Or one of my favorite fonts is Black Chancery. I just like it. This one. I'll just do black. I'll make it at least an inch so that we can see the font real good. Maybe I'll even go 2 inches, which is 50 mils. And I always have this selected so that it connects to the nearest point. And I'll select my A again so I can scroll down to spacing. I'll move them a little closer. I'll go to characters here so that I can. I'm actually going to move them so close that they're almost touching because I don't really want to deal with landing a stitch point with these outlines. I have another video. I have a 3-hour long video on how to land stitch points in between letters when you have an outline because it's a little more involved. So for right now, I'm just going to make them look like they're almost touching. But I have nearest point, auto column, and I'll just hit check or hit enter twice. So there's 2 ways. So granted, this is just a satin, but I can do convert, create outline from fill. So now I have an outline. I'll just get rid of the satin. These all have jumps, so I'll click or highlight or select every one except the first one, and I'll just right click, create connection. They didn't go nearest point. That's right, because it's an outline. Okay, so in that case, I'm just going to do it the Embird way. So I'm going to select the text I did. I'm going to do text, edit text. I'm going to select the outline and the satin, which is the second choice. And hit enter or select. I'll get rid of the satins. They're already real close together, so I'm basically just letting Embird do the branching here. You can see branching is not a choice because Embird branched it behind the scenes. Since I have them so close, I don't have to worry about sinking any stitch points in between them. So we'll just go with that. So we have that, and then we have this outline below. Let me just put them side by side. Okay, so there's, you have two designs, and we're going to assign our brand new parameters to these outlines. And so we can just click on one of them. We can bring in our outlines either by going to Objects, User Editors, or we can just click on an object and go into Parameters and click on this drop down arrow and then go into User Editors. Click on this, what looks like an outline. Click in the first spots. We have 5 outlines that we can bring in. 5 custom outlines. Click on the first spot. Click on Open. It's usually defaults to an Embird program file folder, and we saved ours in our own personal folder. So I see users WeQuilt. I could just click here, but for the sake of helping everybody, I'm just going to click on C and then go to Users, WeQuilt Studio, because I'm the user. Mine are saved in my documents, and then 0 WeQuilt Studios is my folder. And I believe I saved it in Embroidery Designs. Double click. So I'm double clicking each time to open a folder. And then here's where I saved them, 0 space ESM downloads. So here's all the ESM files that come with the purchase of that came from my website. So I'll just go in order. I can only bring 5 of them in. So I'll click on the first one, hit the check mark. I'll click in the second slot, open, choose the second one, hit the check mark, click third slot, open, click this third one, check, fourth slot, open, fourth one, check, and then the fifth slot, open, fifth one, check. So these are all the outlines I can bring in at a time. And this is if we were going to bring motifs in. But we'll just stick to the outlines now, and we'll click OK. And they're in there. If I click on this drop down arrow, they're up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're up here at the top. But I can click on any one of these objects. Like I started with this one, and now I decided I'm going to go with this one now. But because this one is already branched behind the scenes, you can see when I select them, the branching is grayed out. That's because Embird already branched these behind the scenes. So I only want to select the backward paths and because the backward paths are the final stitching. These that just don't have an arrow in them are just travel stitches. So I really want the travel stitches to be the same length as my final backward path stitches, but I'll address that in a minute. So instead of having to go through and hold my control down, I can just do select outlines, all backward paths, but just know that it's going to select these blue ones up here. So I'll hold my control and just deselect those. So now those are selected. I'll go into parameters, click my drop down arrow, and I'll just select the first one. And these are the parameters, the width and the min and max that I programmed in user editors, and I'll hit apply. And so that's backstitch 2. And you can change your parameters as well. You know, I can bring this up, gives it a little bit different look. I could bring this up. You know, gives it more of a fur type look. And then I can also then go into the next one and I can change everything as well. If I do change it, just so you know, like I say, I've changed this up to 8 and hit apply. I know that that's a little too thick, but just as an example, if I hit OK and then I go back into parameter, I do something else, and then I go to select outlines, all backward paths, unselect these. If I go back into parameters, it goes back to the 5.0 width that I had originally set in user editors. So if I hit apply now, it's going to go back to the 5. But just know if I did hit the 8, I really shouldn't go up to 8. I'll do it with the other one, because that one is a little too much to go up to 8. If you did hit the 8 and hit apply and hit OK, just so you know, when you go into editor, when you compile here and put into editor, these do stick. It will stay at the 8 millimeters wide. So, so that's how you bring them in. And then these blue ones I'll just save for, you know, another time. Or actually in the full-length video of this, I do the blue one in depth, because this type of design requires a special technique, because it's a more balanced and symmetrical shape. So if you have a design that's hairy like this one and goes in a certain direction, you want it to look symmetrical in a design like this. So I cover that in the other video, and I cover a lot more in the longer video as well. But this at least lets you know how you can, you know, import it in, and then you just take this into editor like I said. I can just give these, for the sake of giving them something, I'll just give it that. And I believe I already split this design up so that it is symmetrical, so I guess I could give it one of mine. So that's backstitch 3. And here's backstitch 4, which I really like. That's kind of one of my favorites. But I'll just go back to 3, and I'll just give it like an 8, maybe 7.5, just so that you can see that it does stick and it will stay when you take it into editor. So I'll just save this. But at any rate, so you compile and take it into editor. I'll just cancel. And so as you can see, you know, there it is there. And, you know, it retains all the properties that it's supposed to retain. In this design, you can see it's pretty nicely digitized. This purple stitches, or the octagon, of course, stitches all in one, but then also the other one, let me make it a different color. Anyways, so the green stitches all in one color. It's highlighted now. So, and that's because Embird did that behind the scenes. So that one stitches in all in one color, and then so does this one. And it's pretty nice. I mean, the density map on it is really nice. This is the tie on and tie off. That's why it's orange. So it starts and ends in the same spot because this is one continuous outline. And you can see where it starts if you go into Stitches View. So it stops there, and since it's a continuous outline, it probably starts there as well. So if I click on it, even if I don't click on it, it's the first stitch of this object. I can go to Stitch Locator, specify stitch number 1, hit OK, and you can see my cursor went right here. So this is where it starts, and then since the stop is there, this is where it ends as well. And then you can see the jump that's affiliated with that stop is right there. And then this one starts here, and it also ties off here. So there you have it. Sky's the limit with these outlines. You can change them up so many different ways. So the file that I have for sale contains like 17 outlines, 17 ESM files. It's pretty nice. It's all my favorites. So, okay.